You might look at some of my photos on my portfolio and think, how much money was actually spent on these shoots? Was it £500, $1,000, $2,000? When in reality, most of those shoots didn't cost more than $100. This is the type of work that you need to create if you want to attract high quality clients and build up a profitable photography business. After this video, you will no longer be afraid to invest some money into your photo shoots and just to put some more effort into them. In reality, all it takes is a small amount of money to put towards your shoots to turn them into magazine or ad campaign worthy types of shoots that clients will need to hire you for. As a portrait photographer, you want to be creating work that no one can say no to. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to create high production, high budget looking shoots on a very low budget. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we get into the real meat of the video, I need to shift your mindset in your photography for a second. Do not be afraid to put money towards your photo shoots, to put a budget towards it, to go out of pocket for it. Because guess what? Your investment into your photography does not stop at your gear. You don't just buy a couple grand worth of lenses and bodies and think, okay, now it's over. Now I don't have to spend a single dime on photography and now I'm just gonna make money. From now on, it's gonna be profit, 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 profit. Sad reality is it does not work like that. You may have to spend some money on your photo shoots to enhance them to another level. You can even argue that, I would definitely argue that these investments into your photo shoots are more important than your gear. So before you decide to buy that really expensive lens because it's f1.2 or f1.4, that RF lens or whatever it is, before you do that, maybe thinking about how you could put that money towards future photo shoots. Because in my opinion, gear isn't as important as you think it is. My gear, for example, I have my Mamiya RB67 right there. I have a film camera, I shoot film. Sometimes I shoot on my Canon R6 as well. Got 24-70 on that, but my setup is very minimal. Obviously I've got these lights as well, but I don't really use these lights because when I hire out studios, for example, all the strobes and the modifiers on lights already come with the booking, so I don't have to really own anything, to be fair. I really own a minimal amount of stuff compared to the stuff I actually use when I'm doing photo shoots. So before you decide to, that's like a side tangent there about gear, before you decide to like buy new gear thinking I need this lens or this whatever, maybe decide to have like that, let's say like $600 or $400 that you're going to spend on a lens and put that towards like 5 photo shoots, like really high quality photo shoots there. Because even the smallest amount of money will enhance your photo shoots to the next level and it will just bring up the potential even more. Because when you're taking your photo shoots seriously, you're doing those genius shoots like I've been saying throughout my other videos, or you're planning it out and everything like that, and you're thinking of a cool concept for it. Once you put some money towards it, you're not limited like crazy. Because right now you're probably thinking of these cool concepts and thinking of these like ideas that you want to shoot, but you can't shoot it because you have to get that studio, or you need that certain backdrop or that certain lighting setup, but you don't have access to those lights. This is the issue, because you're not letting yourself put like a max of $100 or £100 towards a photo shoot. You're limiting yourself highly here. Like imagine you just put towards $50 to $100 to a photo shoot. Imagine what you could create with that. Imagine the potential with that type of money, even though it's such a little amount. That could be towards booking a studio which comes with all the lights and everything that you need. It could be buying an outfit. Maybe you have a stylist on board, if you don't have a stylist, whatever, and you're funding the styling. You're getting some really cool outfit. Let's say you're doing a spec ad for a certain brand. Like for me, about 2 months ago, I think it's been about 2 months now, I did this Adidas spec ad and I literally bought the entire outfit. I bought the tracksuit, I bought the shoes. I spent about, what, like $250 on that outfit alone. Then I spent an extra like $75 on the studio to get that shoot done. But imagine I was like, I'm not gonna spend any money on a photo shoot. That photo shoot would have been impossible to do. And guess what? I know people don't like me saying this, but I just returned the clothes afterwards. I bought the shoes, I bought the outfit, just returned it. Obviously I spent the $250 or £250 initially, but after like a few weeks, I got all the money back, I got it fully refunded. And as long as I didn't like crease the shoes or anything like that, that's all that matters. But simply because I was willing to put money towards my photo shoots and go out of pocket by a little bit, I was able to create really good photos. And guess what? Those photos literally got me into Vogue. Imagine if I was like, no, I can't spend any money on a photo shoot, blah, 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 I've already spent enough on gear. I wouldn't have got my photos into Vogue. Imagine that. You're literally one photo shoot away, like $100 away from getting into Vogue. Imagine that. Let's also go back to the gear thing. You could maybe even rent a gear instead. So instead of buying that lens or buying that camera body that you feel would be perfect for this photo shoot or whatever, you instead rent it. Because if you feel like you're only going to use it a couple times, maybe you just want to rent it out. And if you feel like you're going to be using it on all the photo shoots, every photo shoot that you do, maybe you want to buy it. But for the most part, try renting things out. There's a lot of websites out there that you can rent from people for very cheap. There's stuff like, I know there's like Fat Llama, at least that's in the UK, I don't know about the US. I'm trying to think of other ones. I don't really know any other ones, to be fair, but that's like a third party one that you can kind of rent from individual people. There's obviously companies out there that have rental services, but they're a bit more expensive because it's like an actual company, but you could find something, you know what I mean? And speaking of a team, because I do say a lot in my videos that you want to hire out a team when you get like a makeup artist, a stylist, you don't have to spend money on those people. You don't have to pay them. Some of them will want you to pay them. They're like, oh, they're not open to collaboration and doing free shoots, but you are bound to find at least one makeup artist or at least one stylist that is willing to work with you for free because they want to build their portfolio up just like you. So don't think, oh, I can't have a team for my photo shoots because they're going to charge me. When you go like that without even trying to get them for free and ask for favors, you're going about it all wrong. Obviously, if you're reaching out, like you're one of that very rare person that reached out to like fucking 50 makeup artists or 50 stylists and none of them want to do it for free, then that's unfortunate for you. But I doubt that's you right now. I doubt you've reached out to that many people. So get to reaching out. And if you want further guidance with budgeting your photo shoots and finding the right team and networking with the right people to enhance your photo shoots, and also how to lead a photo shoot to success to create your best work so you can land more clients in the future, guys, top link description below is one of my courses. I'll tell you exactly how to do that and much more. It's on the screen right here. Perfect course for you. I wish I had that when I first started portrait photography, or even if when I was stuck in a rut. So click the top link below if you're interested. Yeah, I want to see you inside. Okay, so now that I've convinced you to put some money towards your photo shoots, it's time to start planning out those shoots, doing the genius shoots. Because if you want to start by creating high production and high budget looking photos, we have to treat our photo shoots like they are. I want to discuss the importance of the pre-production phase of your photo shoots. You need to treat your shoots like they are a film. Like imagine a film, a Hollywood movie. Imagine how much preparation goes into those types of films, the storyboarding, the shot list, the mood boards, the treatments that were created, the scheduling, everything like that. You want to treat it the exact same way for your photo shoots. Don't think, oh, it's just photos, so why should I do all of that? No. That's the reason why your photos look shit, is because you're not treating it like it's a high-end shoot. And that's the reason why my shoots look super high budget, because I treat my photo shoots in that way. I've made plenty of shoot breakdowns in the past. Again, I'll probably put the most recent shoot breakdown up here. I'll tell you exactly how I plan my photo shoots, and it's extensive. But that's a good thing. I put some more effort into it, and it's a bit more work, to be fair, but it's only like an extra 2-3 hours to put in, and guess what? It works out every time. It's definitely a good time it's a good investment of time to improve your photo shoots. So I would suggest you start off by making a PDF in Canva, PowerPoint, Keynote, or something like that. Some people try to use Millernote or Notion or something to make something like that. I do not agree with that. You make a PDF, like a slideshow, very easy for models and the team to access that presentation. All the photographers that I know do the exact same thing with really big jobs as well. So do it like that. You make a presentation and you want to basically discuss everything there is to do with the shoot. Think about, okay, what the styling is going to be, what the lighting is going to be, what the set design is going to be, what styling makeup, the hair is going to be, any props are going to be used. You make a shot list for that shoot. This is going to take you about, I would say, an hour or 2 hours, because obviously now you have to think of the photo shoot concept too, because then you're thinking of a concept as well. You're not just going, oh, let's just do a photo shoot. You have like a cool concept name for it. You have a story behind it. And when you do it like that, you just you're enhancing your photos to a new level. Because if you think about a lot of these photo shoots that you see online by these big fashion photographers or big portrait photographers, they approach it in this exact same way, or at least on the similar level, in a way where they're creating an actual concept for the shoot. They're creating like a story behind the photo shoot. There's an intention there, because when you do that, you're contextualizing your intentions. So there's depth in your photos. It's not just bland and being like, okay, I'll just take some photos of this model and she's wearing a jersey and she's got some cool trousers on and taking photos in the park. Like, you're actually taking it seriously. You're actually thinking about exactly what you want to do. A little side note with the PDF stuff, making sure it actually looks really nice. I was speaking to one of my students on my photography program, like I mentioned earlier, and he made a presentation. His presentations that he makes now are pretty good, but the first one that he made was very like, it was default PowerPoint text, like white backdrop, like it was all cluttered and everything like that. It doesn't really look nice. So make sure it actually looks like a nice presentable PDF that kind of fits the concept of the photo shoot to make it look really professional and good for people that are trying to collaborate with you and people that are trying to work with you, like clients. Yeah, okay, it takes a little bit of effort to do so, but every time I've told someone, especially people in my program, when I told them to make this presentation, their work instantly improves. I noticed that like their work, after like not that long of knowing them, they're already creating much better work. If they're beginners, that they barely know how to use their camera, to people that are more advanced and they just haven't been creating their best work recently, it doesn't matter. This approach will absolutely transform your photography. Even if it is for the more basic shoots, you still want to do this. And when you approach your photo shoots in this way, you're much less likely to make mistakes because you're planning everything out. You're taking it super seriously and you're never gonna be like, oh no, I forgot this, or no, we didn't do this properly, or this lighting setup was wrong, or we took too long to set up, or we took too long to do this and we finished too late, or whatever it was. That won't happen. But if you do make mistakes, it's gonna be super obvious that you're gonna never do next time. And obviously, like I said earlier, I like to call these the genius shoots. And the genius shoots give you the opportunity to find yourself as a portrait photographer, because you are taking into account every single bit of the photo shoot. It's going to be much easier to find your style as a photographer, because you're looking at this other stuff and you're like, okay, I know what type of styling I like to go for. I know what type of model that I like to go for. Maybe you have a casting direction on your PDF and you're showing off what type of model that you like to go for. All of these things are super detailed. That all comes into play in your style as a photographer. Your style is not just about, oh, what type of lighting do you use and what type of camera you use and the brands, and like, no, it's not just about that. It's also about what type of model that you like to shoot, what type of styling, what type of color palette that you like to go for. So when you're taking into account all these little aspects of your photo shoot in this presentation or in this like preparation for your shoots, you're consciously thinking about what you want to go for. Because when I first started out and I was just taking photos and I wasn't really doing this approach, like detailed approach, all my photo shoots were completely different and none of them had like a coherent style to them, because the only thing I really considered in the photo shoot was the lighting and the location, but I wasn't really considering, okay, what should the styling be for this shoot? What should the makeup be? Maybe I pick a specific type of model. Imagine that, you're imagining you're only going to do a specific type of model because that you feel like that type of model works for you, but this type of model doesn't work for you. There's plenty of photographers out there that have a specific type of model that they like to shoot. If it's a specific body type, it's a specific race, if it's a specific hairstyle or gender, whatever it is, it's like, it's not just specific to lighting and everything like that, it's everything, you know what I mean? So when you're doing these genius shoots, you're thinking about everything in the frame and you're thinking about everything in the shoot. So you have to think about, okay, that styling, I want that kind of be similar to the styling that I've been doing before, you know what I mean? And the reason why I'm putting so much emphasis on style right now is because your style as a photographer is extremely important into attracting clients and to creating work that are client magnets. Because yeah, it's nice to create these really cool photo shoots, but if all of them are completely different and none of them have a coherent style to it, and it almost look like a different photographer took the photos for each photo shoot, then it's going to look kind of weird. It's going to look like clients don't want that. They want to see consistency. They want to see some sort of like predictability, so to say. So when they're hiring you, they know what they're going to get out of you. So if you have like a bunch of different looks and a bunch of all this other stuff and they hire you, they might not even hire you in the first place because they had that risk of like, is it going to be a good photo shoot? And again, like, it's not just about the different styles, but also make sure that all your photo shoots are of the highest quality. Because a lot of photographers out there that have like 2 or 3 like really good photo shoots, like they're amazing, and the rest of their work is dog shit. It's just dog water, and it's like, what the fuck is that? And it looks so off. At that point, you might as well delete those photo shoots and only keep the good ones in there. So make sure your portfolio, it's like a side point, make sure your portfolio is coherent. And another reason why I'm telling you to approach your photo shoots in this way is not just because I want you to do extra work for your photo shoots, but also because every single big portrait and fashion photographer that I know, that I've worked with in the past or I just know of, does this exact thing. They make this extensive PDF. So to give you an example, I've got a photo shoot tomorrow, a really big photo shoot for a pretty decent sized brand, and I'm not the photographer on it, I'm assisting it. So I'm a photography assistant for a photographer that I know, and he did this exact thing. He sent this 25 page PDF explaining the entire concept. And obviously for confidential reasons, I don't think I can show you. I'm not going to attempt to show you really, just in case there is issues there. So obviously the shoot hasn't even happened yet by the time I'm filming this. It hasn't even happened yet, so I can't really show you anything to do with the PDF or the concept for the shoot or the brand that we're shooting it for. But let's say it's a pretty decent sized brand, and he did this exact thing. He's created like a 20-page PDF explaining everything there is to do with the concept. He's got a styling plan on there. He's explaining the shot list. He's got mood boards. He's kind of explaining the concept for the shoot, like what's going to happen, what's the mood of the shoot. He's showing off like this is the general intentions. There's nothing that is missed out there. There's casting directions. There's everything, and it's like 20-25 pages long. That's what I'm telling you guys. I know, yeah, that's like a higher budget photo shoots or whatever. That doesn't mean that you don't do it for your photo shoots, because you think, oh, I'm not shooting for these big brands, so why should I do that? That is why your photo shoots are dog shit. That is why you don't create amazing work like I do and like these other photographers do, is because you're approaching your photo shoots in this more amateur way. Because you think, oh, because I'm an amateur or because I'm not like that high end or getting paid loads of money, that means I don't have to put that much effort into my photo shoots. That is the mistake that you're making. That is the mentality, that is the wrong mentality to have when you're trying to build up your portfolio and create work that you would want to get hired for in the future. Okay, so back to the budgeting part of the photo shoot. I want to prove to you why the amount of money that you put into your shoots doesn't really matter. It's just as long as you put money towards your photo shoot. So the last photo shoot that I did, Inferna, that's what I like to call the photo shoot, I called it Inferna. That photo shoot was a quite low budget photo shoot. I don't think I spent any more than $50 on that shoot. And I wouldn't say that photo shoot looks low budget. I would say it looks pretty high budget to me. Yeah, it was a very simplistic shoot, a very simple outfit, and the types of compositions that we were getting were very simple. The lighting was very simple, and nothing was really crazy there. But again, because I was willing to budget the photo shoot, hiring out the studio, getting the film, and then also planning out the photo shoot extensively, I was able to create amazing work from that. And the photo shoot before that was called Untouchable. The studio was like £75. The film was like an extra 30 or something like that, £30 for the film, and we went to 2 locations. I would say that was like a medium budget types of photo shoot. I mean, technically it's still low budget if you're talking about industry standards, but if you're saying from a perspective of like, if you're putting your own money into it or whatever, it's a quite cheap photo shoot, or I'm sorry, mid-level photo shoot. But again, the photos turned out really fucking good. Another photo shoot that I did back in January, that was a collaborative shoot, and that was, I would say that was a quite high budget photo shoot, because I spent about £250 on that photo shoot. I got the studio, I got the props, I also got obviously the film. I literally bought the prop camera that is in the photos and the strap for it, and also spent some money on the expenses for the team and some food and stuff like that. So you can see how that was quite high budget, right? Again, compared to if you're putting your own money into it. And I don't think the photos turned out better than the last 2, in my opinion. Then there's the Adidas photo shoot that I did, the spec ad that I created. That wasn't that expensive. That was a quite low budget photo shoot. Like, yeah, okay, I spent like a couple hundred on the outfit, but I returned it afterwards. So technically it was free, and I only really had to spend money on the studio and the film that I used. So realistically, I think that was a quite low budget photo shoot. And guess what? Those photos got me into Vogue. So that's 4 different shoot examples, all on different budget levels. And you can't really argue. There is no correlation with how much money that you spend and how better the photo shoot is. I think the Mo Vintage shoot, where I spent like quite a decent amount of money on it with the camera and stuff, that was probably the worst photo shoot out those 4 photo shoots that I showed. Yes, it was the most expensive. What I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter how much money you spend on it, it just matters that you actually put money towards it, if you know what I mean. Don't think I'm telling you to spend like hundreds of dollars or hundreds of pounds on a photo shoot. I'm just telling you to be willing and be open to putting some money towards a shoot, because you could really elevate that shoot to another level if you did that. If you just put like £75 towards a photo shoot to put towards a studio, you could create your best work yet. Maybe that's the one thing that is limiting you from creating amazing work right now, is because you're not willing to put some money towards it. Because the only way you're gonna be able to create these high budget looking photo shoots and high production looking photo shoots that clients would wanna hire you for, and you're creating those client magnet shoots, you're gonna have to go out your own pocket. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to do that, in my opinion. Because all the best collaborative shoots that I've done, I approach my photo shoots in the ways that I've been telling you in this video. I have planned the photo shoot out, but I've also been able to put some money towards it too. I don't see us putting money towards it as a negative thing or as an obligation, like, oh, I have to spend money now on this photo shoot. Think of it as like a blessing, because now you can think bigger. You can think of a much bigger and more ambitious concept because you're willing to put money towards the shoot, and you're willing to find a team for that photo shoot, like a stylist and a makeup artist to help elevate that idea. Like, I wouldn't have been able to create any of the photo shoots that I mentioned if it wasn't for me being open to putting towards some money towards it and having just a small budget for that shoot. And in terms of how many shoots that you do, if you're in those stages where you've kind of gone past that beginner stage and you know how to light, or you know how to compose, you know the basics of a camera and stuff like that, you know the technical side to it, and you're able to create decent looking photos, you only have to really do like 1 to 3 shoots a month, which is not that much money if you think about it. Especially right now, if you're watching this, photography probably isn't your full-time job at the moment, because you're watching these videos to try to make it into your full-time job. So you probably have a full-time job right now and you have some extra cash to spend or invest into your photography. Because again, like I said at the start of the video, your investment into your photography does not stop at your gear. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but I think that's a good thing, because I think it actually makes you're able to express yourself more as a photographer, because you're giving yourself more opportunities to create better work and really enhance your abilities as a photographer. Because one thing that is limiting you from creating better work is just like, you don't have the money, or you're not willing to put the money towards it. You don't have the right gear, or you don't have the right facilities for it, which is really annoying, because I used to think like that too. But when I actually decided, no, actually, I'm going to put like $100 or $75 towards this photo shoot. Once I started doing that, anyone has like a spare $75 to spend on the photo shoot. I don't care. You have a spare $50 to $75 to spend on the photo shoot, right? So I don't think that's a big deal. So I feel like I'm kind of waffling now, but whatever. Yeah, so anyway, guys, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Guys, like I said earlier, don't forget to check out my photography program. Top links in the description below. If you want to learn how to price yourself, actually turn this portrait photography into your full-time career and get money in this business model and land clients that want your creative input and want your style, and not just like hiring you for boring commercial shoots, but want you for you. So if you want to accelerate your portrait photography progress and learn how to create better photos and land more clients and make more money, click the top link below. So guys, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys found this useful. Click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography, and I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.